Oh, hello there. Didn't see you there. Just kidding. I've been aware of your presence the whole time. Setting up your camera there. In fact, you drove me here. You're my best friend, Paul. It's me, John Anderson Cooper, and today on my show, Reading Old Stuff, I'll be interviewing two esteemed American novelists, one William Cuthbert Faulkner and Henry James, both summoned here today by my cameraman, shaman, and best friend Paul. I will be showing them some modern adaptations of their work, and they're here to express their opinions on what they've seen. Now, Mr. Faulkner, where art thou, old squire?
Ooh, the past is never dead, nor am I.
Oh, now terrific! So, here you are.
Yeah, well, I'm not done with my quote. The past is never dead, it's not even past.
It's not even past noon, Mr. Faulkner, and you're
Yeah,
completely wasted. Mr. James, please, I thought you were a composed man, but it seems we may have a daredevil on our hands.
Daredevil.
Peaceful existence is not living, as I once said.
Yes, truth or daredevil. Now that's a fun drinking game. Who wants to play, huh?
Oh, I only play kissing games. Yes. No homo.
No homo.
No.
Another great drinking game.
We can play your games later, gentlemen, before you go back to being dead, but since you bring up no homo, I have a few questions I would like to ask. Would you just lean in and see
Hey,
what
don't
this
you
says?
lean into that,
I will.
Jamesy. Don't trust this teetotaling mongrel.
I am not a feminist, but I will lean in, as they say. Let's see here. Ah, yes. Ah, I was nominated for the Nobel Prize.
Oh.
And my sexual orientation. Oh no. No, it's not true. It's not. It's not true. Me?
Now, Faulkner...
A homosexual?
Yeah.
The scandal! The outrage! It's rebellious!
Now, Faulkner, since you're over there laughing, I
Acting
must
away
ask...
like a hyena.
I must ask.
Yes? Well, I'm not laughing about that. I can give a flying rat's toot. You see, I'm laughing about the Nobel Prize thing. Nominated? I am a Nobel Prize.
On the subject of James's presumed homosexuality, do you think it affects the reading of his work?
Oh, what does it matter? I'm a homosexual depending on whatever day you ask me.
Are you homosexual right now?
No homo!
I will admit to loving a man. Yes, Jonathan Sturgis. Oh, the night we had at the Lamb House, and I, the bewether to his lamb.
Yeah, say, what does that oven say about me?
Why don't you have a gander?
I'm sure whatever it says, I won't remember. You know, as I always say, I don't remember a damn thing. As I always say, memory believes in knowing the memory, although thought coincides with memory, thought thinking, though otherwise, maybe have you, what have you, I do declare. Go ahead, read my life.
Well, it says here you were born in Albany.
Yes, I remember it well. You see, I was born in Canada. My father, an oil tycoon with a heart of oil, and my mother, a taxidermist of woodchucks. The woodchuck queen of Quebec!
Maybe it's best we turn over to James.
An alky over here.
Hey, now. Why don't you try externalizing your voice, not to fucking internalizing.
There's nothing going on in here. I am out. I'm out in the
No,
open.
you're not out.
So what?
You're very much in.
Tell me about your cousin, Minnie.
Ah, Minnie. Minnie the mouse. Body like a temple. Minnie Temple. That's what her name came from. Ah, but I loved her. A little sprite.
Was there ever anything more?
Oh, heavens, no. Oh, but she excited me. Her reckless abandon. She was everything I wasn't in my little life, as hers was cut so short. People often ask me, why? Why are we here? This inquiry of morality is only silenced by that of natural beauty. Looking at Minnie, as one looks at the stars at night, hushed such harsh thoughts. To gaze upon Minnie is to revel in the beauty of life. Looking into the eyes of God is like looking into Minnie's eyes.
Huh. Not as interesting as I thought it would be. Moving on, Faulkner, one of the films I had you watch in the other room was James Franco's adaptation of your novel, As I Lay Dying. Your thoughts?
My thought is that I'd rather be doing that than watch that thing again. Lowblow, eh? Hey, Jamesy boy. Dishing them out.
Well, interesting, because James Franco seems quite enamored with you.
Yeah, he's in love with me, goddammit.
Cedric Gale Bryant, and I have it here, spoke of your novel that, quote, perhaps more than any other novel by Faulkner, As I Lay Dying makes visualization of the medium and of action, and the reader becomes both observer and participant. Does Franco's visualization of your text accurately represent your work?
Yeah, okay, well, let's see this Franco fellow, he played Darl, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, hard for me to tell, because that was not the Darl that I wrote. He only truly taps into his character when he's around Dewey Dell, when he's in a higher power of understanding above the other characters.
Did you appreciate the other performance?
Cash? The man who played Cash? My Cash. The moral backbone. The broken backbone. Now that guy truly tapped into the sympathy I was aiming for. Jewel, however, you stay with me now. Jewel, one note for my taste, always scowling. And Tim Blake Nelson, do I need to say anything?
I have another quote for you here. Dr. Christopher Rayner, in his review, said he found the split screen quite distracting and often underutilized. Too often the shots in the two frames were extremely similar. Your thoughts?
Yeah, sure, I suppose I echo that opinion. However, that opening scene, where it's the split versions of Darl and Jewel walking, it perfectly captures the physicality of both characters, which is very important to the opening of the novel to differentiate the two characters based on their physicality. Damn it!
So,
My
overall,
drink.
you didn't enjoy the film?
I loved it. Perfection.
James, you watched the film. What did you think?
The split screen effect is fascinating. Whether it's ultimately meaningful is a different question. A good chunk of the dialogue is unintelligible, which creates the impression that the characters are as textual as the trees in the background. Who wrote this? What a mind. Taken individually, the halves of the split screen frame are unremarkable, plain looking, pragmatic handheld shots with odd slow zoom in, just thrown in there, blah, 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 bifurcated effect. You know, he's just trying to adapt it so much as simulate the experience of reading the book with varying levels of success. Some would say it lies between the film school thesis project and video installation.
Now that is Sasha good review.
What are your thoughts on Wings of the Dove? I must say I quite enjoyed the film.
Yeah, what a romp.
As far as adaptations go, it was quite good. Your novels aren't the easiest to adapt. A lot under the surface.
I'd say the same about Helena Bonham Carter.
Well, we know when you're writing a novel, you don't intend for it to be seen like that. At least, I didn't.
Asina Meany said that it was challenging to adapt because, quote, very few people read Henry James. Does that bother you?
You know, I like to think of myself as a fine bottle of wine. Esoteric, mature, and extremely expensive.
Well, there is an undeniable subtlety to all of your work. Unlike someone like Faulkner, you stray away from
now.
needless melodramas.
Hey.
And so much as what you write demands to be inferred. Read between the lines, if you would. Was that your goal, or are you just aloof?
Well, takes Turn of the Screw, for example. You know, all the critics are like, is it a ghost story? Is she crazy? No, I plainly said it is a ghost story. But sure, Wings of the Dove. The ending I did leave with some room, if you will, for interpretation. The movie finished my story.
I see. You say it's enjoyed a lot by commoners.
You mean Americans?
Well, Faulkner, you watched A Temple Drake based on your novel Sanctuary. Your thoughts?
Is that what that was? Where was my Horace?
Despite veering greatly from the source material, it's considered
My
one of the
beloved Horace.
Did you see it while you were alive?
I was too busy bastardizing myself to watch works of mine bastardized by others.
I see. Well, what don't you like about it?
Where's my Horace? Huh? Steven. That ain't no Horace. Where's my Horace masturbating scene?
Are you referring to the scene in the novel where Horace is masturbating?
Yes, I am, and you heard it here. This is the definitive answer on the matter. Horace masturbates to the image of his stepdaughter, Little Belle, and loves it.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on Daisy Miller?
The film was trash. Sybil Shepherd? Ha! It reeked. At least that's what the critics said. I didn't even watch it.
Peter Bogdanovich, who didn't seem to care much about what you thought of it, he said, in his words, quote, "I don't want to spend too much time worrying about Henry James, except to take whatever I can from the story that I like."
Well, he's just one regular queen now, isn't he? Yeah, well, as an artist, he has the right to adapt my work in the way he pleased. So, doesn't mean I have to like it.
Hollywood? Schmollywood. That's what I always say. Bollywood. That's where the money is. Ship me to India! I used to scream to Goldwyn and Mayer.
I think what William and I are so extraordinary is that we're considerably highbrow and lowbrow. Highbrow novelists, lowbrow screenwriters.
Actually,
and
Jamesy,
playwrights.
I consider myself a highbrow dishing out low blows. Wings of the Dove? More like wings of a dud.
Maybe I'm too simple, too easy, too feasible, too American. Oh, give me a sip!
Hey,
You know, I once said that the world is my home. Who the hell was I kidding?
you know, that's kind of interesting considering how, I consider you one of the masters of the interior workings of the human mind and a skilled explorer of the enigmatic nature of mankind.
Oh, excuse me, you Hemingway hack!
I'm complimenting you.
Settle down, you two. Easy, easy.
What? I have been nothing but sincere.
Host man, who do you like more? Me or Hemingway? I mean Faulkner. Me
what
or Faulkner?
Ouch.
Well, I think this has gone on 9 pages too long. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I think I'm going to have to call you an Uber back to the graveyard. Thanks for being here.
Here's the graveyard in Canada.
Can you use Lyft? I have a coupon. Finn.
Do it again. Thank you for joining me here in my wonderful ballet studio. Good night.